Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how sometimes you hear these crazy claims and you're like, wait, is that really true?
Yeah, definitely. Like some of those things that sound too wild to be real.
Exactly. Well, today we are diving deep into one of those claims. The claim that a Stanford professor is, get this, the world's wealthiest academic.
Oh, wow. That's a bold claim.
Right. So we dug into the details, did some research, and, well, the story is way more interesting than just a dollar figure.
I bet. So, who's this mysterious professor we're talking about?
The professor in question is David Cheriton.
Okay, David Cheriton, Stanford.
Stanford Professor Emeritus, to be exact.
Yeah.
Now, his reported net worth as of October 2024 is, get ready for it, $15.7 billion.
15.7 billion. Wow. That's not just academic success, that's like mega wealth territory.
Right. I mean, that's a crazy amount of money. So the question is this claim actually true? Is he really the wealthiest academic globally?
Right, and is it just based on his professor's salary? Like how does an academic even reach that level of wealth?
Yeah, exactly. So to answer that, let's rewind a bit and look at how Cheriton actually built his fortune.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. I'm really curious to see how this all unfolded.
So are you ready for this? Cheriton's wealth primarily stems from a super smart and, might I add, lucky investment decision. He was an early investor in, drumroll please, Google.
No way, Google. Seriously.
Yeah, back when it was just a fledgling company, not the tech giant we know today.
So we're talking like pre-IPO Google. That's insane.
Exactly. Imagine having that kind of foresight. It's mind-boggling. Do you want to guess how much he initially invested?
I don't even know where to begin. I'm going to throw out a wild guess, like maybe $1 million.
That's a good guess, but it's actually way less.
Yeah.
His initial investment was only $100,000.
$100,000, and that turned into billions. The return on that investment must have been astronomical.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about hitting the jackpot. But here's another interesting twist. This investment wasn't just a solo move. Another key player was involved. Andreas von Bechtolsheim.
Wait, von Bechtolsheim, wasn't he also connected to Stanford?
You got it. He was a Stanford alumnus and a Sun Microsystems co-founder. He actually introduced Cheriton to Google's founders. Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
It's like a chain reaction of brilliant minds colliding.
Exactly. So it was their combined vision and expertise that led to that pivotal Google investment. They saw something in Google that, well, a lot of people missed.
Clearly, they had a good feeling about it, and they were right. So what happened after that? Did they just sort of sit back and enjoy their Google wealth?
Not at all. Cheriton and von Bechtolsheim were far from done. They actually went on to co-found 3 more companies.
Wow, 3 more. Okay, so not just investors. These guys were serious entrepreneurs. What were the companies?
The companies were Arista Networks, Granite Systems, and Kealia. So from investing to building their own ventures.
Okay, I've definitely heard of Arista Networks. They're like a major player in the networking world, right?
You are absolutely right. They specialize in these high-speed networking switches, like the kind you need for massive data centers and cloud computing.
So essential infrastructure for like the entire internet.
Exactly. And they were directly competing with giants like Cisco. But, Cheriton's technical expertise, that really gave them a competitive edge. Then there's Granite Systems. They focused on gigabit Ethernet technology and ended up being acquired by, wait for it, Cisco?
Oh, wow. So they ended up being acquired by the very company they were competing against with Arista. And what about Kealia?
Kealia was another success story. They focus on computer server technologies, and guess what? They got snapped up by Sun Microsystems.
Okay, so these guys were on a roll. They clearly had a knack for spotting opportunities and building successful companies. It makes you wonder, how closely were these ventures tied to Cheriton's academic background? Like, did his research directly lead to these companies?
It's a great question. It's not so much that his research directly translated into these companies. His research was more in the theoretical realm of computer science.
So less about, like, immediately applicable technologies and more about the fundamental principles behind them.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Being at Stanford, surrounded by brilliant minds, in that environment of innovation, that had a huge impact. It provided him with a unique network and the freedom to explore these entrepreneurial ideas.
I see. So it was like the perfect storm, his technical background, the entrepreneurial spirit, the Stanford connection, all coming together.
And don't forget the timing. Being in the right place at the right time, spotting the potential of Google when others didn't.
Absolutely. That's a crucial element in any success story, that bit of luck and perfect timing.
Right. It really makes you think about the possibilities, right? You might have a unique skill set or knowledge, And maybe you're just one opportunity away from changing everything.
Totally. You never know what doors might open or what connections you might make. Like, who would have thought a Stanford professor would become a multi-billionaire tech investor and entrepreneur?
And speaking of Stanford, if you're thinking, hey, I'd love to be in that kind of environment, well, you're in luck. Check out academicjobs.com. It's an amazing resource for finding, your dream job, maybe even at Stanford or other top universities.
Yeah, who knows? Your next visit to academicjobs.com might just be your first step towards, well, maybe not billions, but definitely financial independence and a fulfilling career.
All right, everyone. That's our deep dive for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.
Later.